Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, we're going to put a loving spotlight on an amazing local nonprofit that is helping save lives. Their journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, virtually no family in America has not been touched by cancer. And when you get a cancer diagnosis, not only is your mind swimming with, what's going to happen to me, but in many cases, you might not have the insurance necessary to pay those bills. And that can be devastating and add to an already, very stressful situation. Someone who knows that very well is my next guest, Victoria Gonzalez. She's with Careity. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for inviting me.
Awesome. Well, I want everybody to hear your health journey because you found Careity out of a personal experience.
I did. Yes, I did. So I found out that I had cancer in October of 2020, and I didn't have any insurance as a makeup artist. I had lost my job during COVID, and so I needed to be able to have something checked out. I had a tumor on my left breast that was pretty tiny, but it got to about this size before I had it looked at. And the reason I didn't have it looked at was, again, no insurance. And so I called Solis Mammography, which is where I'd had my mammograms prior. And when I had the opportunity to speak with them, I explained my situation, that I didn't have the insurance. And so they provided me with Careity's phone number. Careity Foundation is here locally, and they picked up the phone. It wasn't an automated message. It wasn't, we'll get back to you with a voicemail. I spoke with someone straight away, told them that Solis had given me their number, that I needed help and assistance in having a mammogram. And they got back to me probably later that day and said, no problem, we've got your mammogram covered. They actually had me go to Solis. They went back to the place where I had been prior to have my mammogram. And it was really nice to be able to know that they helped me so quickly, because early detection is key. So unfortunately, they told me pretty much right there on the spot, you have cancer. They could see it. The radiologist could see it. And so they followed up and said, you're going to need a biopsy. Careity had said, let us know either way. What's your situation? We will help if we can. And sure enough, I called them back, let them know I needed a biopsy. And they made sure I had that. It was imperative that everything happened so quickly, and they were so gracious and so nice and just made me feel at ease. And that was the biggest thing that they gave me, is something I couldn't put a price tag on. They gave me peace of mind and gave me the opportunity to feel better, to focus on getting well.
And tell everybody about some of the other services they provide.
We provide the free mammograms, of course. It's not just breast cancer that we help. We also do things for you while you're having your treatments. And that's where the focus really is we have acupuncture if you actually get neuropathy in your fingers or toes. We have massage therapists that are oncology trained, so they provide massages for you. We give 3 to you, up to 3, while you're going through treatments, free of charge, by the way. None of this is anything that patients are having to pay for. We provide this as a service to the patients. We have a dietitian if you need to speak to somebody about your diet. We have a therapist. We have a chaplain. We provide grocery money if you need it, gas money if you need it. Those are just some of the things we provide. There's numerous other things we can help with if we're available to. If we can't, we try to find resources that can help.
Sure, and they're one of the organizations that the media turns to when they need a quote. We found a great video from NBC5. Let's go ahead and roll that.
The Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo and the Center for Cancer and Blood Disorders don't seem to have much in common, but today they do, as the stock show goes pink for breast cancer.
Because there's too many people, unfortunately, in all of our lives that have been affected by cancer.
Including Victoria Gonzalez.
I had breast cancer. I had invasive ductal carcinoma. Well, there's me with no hair.
Victoria documented her cancer journey.
It's crazy to look at it because you think, wow, that was me. It was pretty amazing.
Today, the stock show is lassoing cancer, donating half of the rodeo ticket and general admission proceeds to Careity, a local nonprofit that helps with early detection and treatment of cancer.
When you find that information out initially, when you get your diagnosis, it's surreal.
According to the National Breast Cancer Foundation, it's the most common cancer among women. 1 in 8 will be diagnosed in her lifetime. Breast cancer in men is rare, but the mortality rate is higher. Today, there are more than 3.8 million breast cancer survivors.
I can honestly say I probably wouldn't be here right now if it weren't for them. I actually was a patient here, and I started volunteering because I wanted to give back after everything that Careity did to help me through my journey. So cancer is something that is going to sound very odd, but I considered it a gift.
Because now she helps patients with Careity who are walking in her boots.
It's a journey that I can honestly say that I was glad to go through, and I'm proud that I went through.
In Fort Worth, Noelle Walker, NBC5.
Wow, what a powerful story. One of the things you and I were talking about off camera is when you give to a nonprofit, you never quite know where the money goes. Does the money get to the people who need it? And you guys have a great track record.
Yes, we definitely, I can honestly say I know where it goes because I'm one of the people that they helped. Like I was saying before, I didn't have any insurance. And so they made sure and guided me in the right directions as to set myself up with health benefits to make sure I was set up to be able to focus on my health, right? So the money goes, instead of to a board of directors, we have physicians. The physicians that are there, that the staff at the Center for Cancer and Blood Disorders, they turn around and they tell us, hey, this is what we think that the patients are needing right now. This is where the focus needs to be. And all of the programs that we do, all of those services that I named off, all of that goes right back into the center. So we don't do a lot of advertising. We do a magazine that we come out with annually, and it goes into the backstory about Len Walsh and Beverly Branch, the two ladies that founded Careity, gives their backstory, how they decided to go ahead and approach this and come up with their own nonprofit to help everyone. There's testimonies from patients in there. So there's that opportunity to learn about these people that they've helped. And it also goes into our events and our fundraisers. So it's a great way to be able to let people know who Careity is and what we do for the community.
Sure, and when you go to the website, there's all kinds of testimonial videos. I found one that I particularly like.
I had a lump that had developed probably January, February. And then I had had a catastrophic loss of my house in March, so I had put it off. Well, then come May, I got a call from Dr. Beverly Wood's office, and they said, I heard you have a lump. And I said, I don't have insurance right now. I let it lapse. So they told me about the Careity Foundation, and they said that they provided mammograms for women that do not have insurance. And I thought, that's amazing.
We started Careity because we saw a deep need that wasn't addressed by any other organization that we could see. We wanted to be able to take care of people, get them through, be able to help them directly and not have to rely on other organizations to do our job.
So I was set up for the mammogram, and of course there was a lump. And so that next week, the Careity Foundation also okayed a biopsy. And I went in and I had the biopsy. Two days later, I got the phone call that it was positive. It was triple negative breast cancer.
When somebody calls, everything else is secondary. We focus on that patient. We get that patient through the best that we can. And it's amazing how quickly it all has to come together.
The Careity Foundation is the one that made it happen. Within 2 to 3 weeks, I had seen doctors, had all my diagnostic tests, was in surgery, had my port placed, boom, and was starting chemo. Careity acted so quickly in helping me. They didn't know me. They just knew that I was a woman that didn't have insurance that needed help, and they were right there for me. So it doesn't matter if you're a man or woman, the Careity Foundation is there for you, to help you, to get through these tough times.
You know, in being involved in Careity and doing what we do and talking to the people we talk to, it's amazing how it makes my heart full, because we are helping people.
I know that there's so many people, when they hear that C word, that cancer, you know, and they're going through treatment, they just get down and they're just feeling sad and like there's no hope. There is hope. There is hope. You know, you know, for me and my faith and believing in God and giving it all up to Him is what got me through. But also being at the center and having Careity back me for everything was absolutely amazing. And that's something that I'll never be able to ever repay them for what they've done. But, you know, just thank you. Thank you.
Wow. I got chills. What an amazing organization. You also do lunch and learns. Tell people about that.
Yes. So how we came up with that idea is, like I told you, I wanted to give back, right? So I thought, well, if I want to give back, how can I do this? And I just sat there while I had my treatments and I couldn't think of something. And then it dawned on me as I sat there and I was looking around the room at all of the women in the room, because it's really devastating when you lose your identity as a woman, because especially if you have breast cancer, you lose your femininity, and then you lose, if you go through chemo and you unfortunately lose your hair and your lashes and your brows, you're kind of at a crossroads of, gosh, I don't know who I am and how I feel and how can I bring myself to feel better about myself. And then it dawned on me, I was like, wait a second, I've been a makeup artist this whole time. I can take my skills and teach them to everybody else. And I presented that idea to Beverly and Lynn, the ladies who founded Careity, and they loved it. They thought it was a great idea, and we got with the CEO, Barry, of the Cancer Center, and he loved the idea as well. So what we did is we thought, well, let's just make this fun. So we have lunch and learns. So we have lunches where we have all of the patients, if they want to attend, and again, free of charge. We provide lunch. We do lunches, door prizes. I have my makeup with me, and I'm teaching you how to do your makeup, how to do your brows when you lose your brows, your skincare, because your skin does change. If you want to wear a wig, we show you how to wear a wig. If you don't want to wear a wig, we show you how to wear a scarf. We just make it fun, and it's a nice distraction from the chemo and the radiation and the devastation that your body's going through. And everybody's loved it. Everybody's thought this is just the greatest thing. And it fills my heart with so much joy to be able to give somebody some hope, because they look at me and I can say, hey guys, guess what? I was you. I'm a survivor. I'm 3 years out. And it can happen. It's not going to happen for everybody, unfortunately. We know that. But the best thing that Careity can provide is we give you some hope, and we give you things to just make your life a little bit better. And we just try to give you peace of mind.
We're going to pull up the website, and as we scroll down the website, I want you to talk about how wonderful this is for you in terms of like you finding your purpose. This is not just a 9 to 5. This is not a place for you to punch a clock, is it?
No, it's not. No, this is, like I said, this has been my dream job. I loved doing makeup before, and I've done everything. I've done all sorts of makeup, and I've worked at Neiman Marcus for quite a number of years as a makeup artist, and I've done weddings and runway shows and everything. But really the best part is when you can connect with somebody one-on-one. And so that's what motivated me to do this, was because I would go and do a wedding, or I would go and help somebody do their makeup, and, you know, backstory, they may be having a bad day. Gosh, I've had the worst day and I just don't feel so great about myself. And we'd be chatting and I'd do their makeup and I'd hand them a mirror and I'd say, okay, take a peek. And they'd look at themselves and just the biggest smile. And I thought, gosh, if I could do that for somebody that's well, imagine what we can do for people that aren't feeling so good about themselves. So I've been very blessed to have this opportunity to help others, and I don't forget it and I don't take it lightly. It's a privilege to me to be able to do what I do.
Wow. As we close out the show, I know you're a nonprofit, so you're always probably looking for donations. How can people get involved?
So people can get involved by looking us up. We have our own website, careity.org. It will go into the backstory of how we started Careity Foundation. There'll be testimonies of patients. If you want to know how people have gone through their journeys, we have that. We have our events, and it'll show you how we fundraise. And like Jeff said, if you feel inclined to help somebody and help locally, we would love that. We appreciate everything. And at careity.org, give us a look.
Outstanding. Once again, the website, as we leave you, careity.org. The great Victoria Gonzalez. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeff.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.